Welcome back to another episode of Freedom Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Deese, and I'm getting to hang out today with the Anchor crew, which is David and Stephanie Postell out of Charleston, South Carolina. And if you remember, Stephanie was actually on the show. Gosh, it's only been a month, 2 months, something like that ago. And so we talked a little bit about the journey of you guys, of how you got in the trades, and really kind of the speed bumps that you hit. So if you haven't listened to that episode, definitely go back and listen to that episode as well. But what we're going to talk about today is they have got a pretty badass event that they're putting on, and we wanted to come on here and talk about it, and it's going to be amazing. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us. We definitely appreciate it. You forgot to mention that we got to hang out in between time from our last
did.
episode till now. So
We
doing
got
fun
all up in the
couple
mud.
things. That's
We got
right. We definitely did. And you and Kristen showed us the sights of your mud park. So that was really fun.
It was a fun time.
That was a highlight, I think,
Yeah.
of the weekend, riding around with y'all and seeing all the
Up to the cross.
all the
Yeah.
kind of the back roads.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
So that is the busiest I've ever, and I've been going to that park for 10, 12 years. That is by far the busiest I have ever seen it. So
Well, I
you
mean,
guys
it
definitely
seems
were
like
here
it
during a
was,
busy time.
yeah, it seems like it was the ride of the year. I mean, after that weekend, everybody's just raved about it. So it was definitely a blast. I've said I had a love-hate relationship with the no cell phone service because it was nice being away from other people that could call you while you were there. But I didn't like not being able to find my friends who were there. So
Or stream music.
yes, or that.
Or our way home when we left there.
Yes.
Because it had no GPS.
Oh, yeah.
We just got on a road and drove, and thank goodness.
I mean, when you pull out of the park, it's left or right.
Yeah, right. Well, we went right. We may have turned around in a church parking lot at some point, but
So I want to share some with you guys because you'll appreciate it, and it ties into what absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but it ties into what you talked about with the cell phone. So Chris and I were watching TV the other day, and there's an ad on, and it's a T-Mobile ad, and it's a husband and wife in their side by side, like driving through the water, driving through this creek, and their point is T-Mobile now has, I guess, satellite connection, and like talk about perfect. Chris and I both looked at each other. We're like, we're getting new phones.
right.
We're getting a burner.
I know. I'm gonna have to get
Yeah,
that.
I guess they're connecting with satellites now, and they have like
Yep.
600 and something satellites. So now never out of service, which that could be good, that could be bad.
Right. Yeah.
But
Oh,
I'm okay with turning my phone off. I turn my phone off, so it
I
doesn't
know.
bother me.
Yeah. Mine said it had that while we were out there, but it didn't work. And I know a lot of people actually had Starlink on their buggies while they were out there. So they've been in places before where they didn't have service. So, but yeah, anyway, it was kind of nice to be off the grid a little bit and come
Yeah.
back after 4 days and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't have service for 4 days. So that was good. But that's what you have to do sometimes as a business owner to get away from it all. So that was a good.
Unplug, disconnect. I know for me, and you guys will probably agree with this too. Typically, when I make the biggest shifts in my business, it has to do with unplugging from the day to day of the business, right? And that's what the conference you guys are putting on has to do with. Is it's really disconnect. So turn off your phones when you're at the conference, right? But it's connecting with everybody. It's learning from the people in the front of the room. It's learning from the people sitting beside you. Like there's just there's a lot of correlations between going out riding side by sides and being in a conference. So
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think that has really I'm going to say my vision, but I know David agrees with my vision on this conference. You know, no shade on any conference that we have ever been to. And if anybody's been to them, we've been to all of them in the last few years. You know, we've done the rounds. And there's always something to learn, no doubt, right? Lots of networking to be done. But I think you kind of get into these conferences and it always feels like a sales pitch. It always feels like one, if it's not a contractor that's doing it, it's somebody trying to tell you how you can run your business better, but they've actually never run a trades business before. It might be, it just always feels like that, right? Like, what do I got to buy at the end? I'm not really getting all the information because, then the pitch comes.
Right.
And I think we just felt like there are really, really smart contractors out there who are already doing really smart things. And it doesn't mean that they don't have great vendors that they're using. And by no means, we have amazing sponsors at this conference. They are all vendors that we use at Anchor and have used as we've grown our company. And so that should say something to the people, the contractors that are coming, is that if those sponsors are there, that is our testimonial that we believe in them and that they have helped us. But what I also love about them is that they are coming to support this contractor-led conference. And a few of them will have 5 minutes. In fact, 5 of them will have 5 minutes throughout the conference to talk about their businesses. But the rest of them are showing up because they know that we are going to interact in a way where they're really going to get to know contractors who are looking to grow and maybe use the services that they have. And they already have a testimonial by
Right.
contractors that are there. So I just think the authenticity is so important to us in this interaction, in that you don't have to decide which breakout to go to because we're all going to be together the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's really just going to be a couple getting up in the front of the room and saying, here's how we did it, or here's how we're doing it. Here's how we did it, and here's what we're doing now. And Crystal and her brother, their
Trey. Yeah.
Trey, it's how did they work together, and then what did that look like when they separated, and how does it still support a family business? So I think that's really, when we go, we get way more out of sitting down with Kristen and Justin Deese at the bar and hearing what y'all have done and what you're doing than we get out of, a vendor talk telling me what, product is going to bring me $10,000 more a month in installs. So
The
that's really,
next latest and greatest.
yes,
No,
absolutely.
I think
I'm really excited because Chris and I have been on this journey, and we wrote a book about when your business partner is your spouse. And I
Yeah.
can remember when we wrote that book, it kind of started as a joke. Somebody's like, "You guys should write a book on it," and I was like, "Pass." And we started doing some research, and we're like, nobody's written a book about it, and that's
Right.
kind of what started that journey for us to write it. And but I will say this, I and at least this is for me, I don't know any conference that has been focused on husband wife teams in the
Right.
trades. And I
Right.
think that's cool because so many of us are in that I don't want to say situation like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
We have that dynamic of, being married to your business partner. So I think it's cool, and I think that it's the forefront of what the conversation is about, or maybe not
Mhm.
all of it about that. It's not therapy, but
No.
there's a lot of that. How do you work together, and talking to other couples about, hey, when you have these struggles, what do you do? I think it's going to be.
Mhm.
I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah.
We are
I'm
too.
pretty
What were
excited.
you gonna say?
I think it's exciting because we also have a couple I think they're thinking about starting their own thing. So it's going to be awesome for folks like that are considering doing this to come and learn and listen and
Yeah.
get all the nuggets that they can. So
Well, I
And
mean,
imagine the
obviously,
networking they're going to get to do. Like in that
sure.
room, if they go to anybody in that room and go, hey, listen, I'm thinking about starting a business. Can I reach out to you if I have any questions? Nobody in that room is going to say no. We're like, yeah, here you go. Like
And
right?
they
that's
already
that's
know
pretty
us and
good.
we're cool as shit. So once they meet all you guys,
Right.
And you guys only hang out with cool people anyway. So
That's it. That's why you and Kristen are speaking, because we're having all the cool people. Yeah, I think that's going to be the dynamic. I don't know that there will be that many brand new people or people that haven't started theirs, but we are actually
yeah,
providing a registration for this couple that we know is about to go into business, and we've encouraged them. And so we said, listen, I mean, you pay for your hotel, we'll bring you to the conference. But on the other hand, we just invested in a company in Slidell, Louisiana, All In Heating and Air, and so they'll be by that time 5 months in. They've had a little bit of a jump start because they got the Anchor startup package, and in our vendors and how we've done it and all of that. But like you said, what a great place to be where you're sitting at tables with people who are 5 years, 10 years, 20 years in, or in and have exited. And to be able to say, like, what does this look like for the next few years? What does it look like after this is over, if that's what they choose? I just think there's so much to be gained from the people in the room, and you'll
Mhm.
be sitting at the table with all people who have done it. So, so I think that's going to be a really big thing. I think the other part, but you said something about the therapy, and I've said even in a TikTok or a Facebook thing already, like, this is not where you're coming to save your marriage,
Right.
because if you're already down that road, it could be difficult. But I think the people that we have speaking and the couples that I do know in the industry, they do have great relationships. They are healthy in what they're doing and how they're running businesses and the example that they're putting out there. And so if you are struggling, you're not going to get talk therapy, but you're going to get example therapy, right?
Oh, that's a
You're
really good point.
Yeah, you're just going to see people there that have been able to make the relationship work on both sides. And so maybe it just inspires you to figure out what your crap is so that you can, go to the next level. And I think people will find mentors, and I think couples will become mentors, which
Yeah.
is just as cool, I think. So
So we should give any couple that's struggling this advice. They should buy side by side and go in the woods.
hell yes, they should.
Yes.
Because talk about getting
Problem
mad
solved.
at your spouse, or when you're scared and about to go through a really deep hole.
That's
Yeah.
probably why we both have two,
Yeah, that's right.
his and hers. Yeah.
You don't like
Yeah.
how
A
I'm
little bit of
driving the
separation
side
there.
road. Yeah.
So as far as the vision, so tell us a little bit. You guys are sitting down. You're like, we're going to have this conference. I know David was like, absolutely, let's do this. Woo, let's go.
Right on.
What did that look like? Like, what was the inspiration? What was the driving force? What started the conversation?
It really, I started 2 years ago. I started a local women's conference, and it's called She Means Business. And it really, that came from me getting the opportunity to speak on national stages, and just how great that feels when you get your speaker profile put up and somebody believes that what you have to say can contribute to the national industry, right? Like, that was big for me. I mean, I don't mind speaking, but I mean, that first time you're on a national stage, that's a big deal. And so I really, because our marketing is so important for our company, I wanted to look and say, like, it's great that I'm going out here and helping the industry as a whole, but what am I doing here in Charleston that is
Hmm.
going to be the give back? And so that's where She Means Business came from. And so it's just a 1-day conference. It's just women here. It's been the first 2 years, 75 women show up. And, we
Nice.
have had really awesome speakers. This year, we did a really cool thing with kind of like a TED Talk. And I had 6 women and their businesses. They got 5 minutes to come up and pitch their business. We had an 11-year-old entrepreneur who was phenomenal, got up and brought the house down. She delivers cookies with her brother who delivers milk. And so that was a really cool
Awesome.
experience. Yeah. And over time, obviously we've mentored some other couples. I have some other contractors that I've worked with, and they kept reaching out to me wanting to send their wives to She Means Business. And I was like,
Mm.
No, like I appreciate it. That sounds, it sounds good. But it's local, and not that they wouldn't get
Yeah.
something out of it, but wasn't trades based.
Right.
And so, but it got me thinking, like, how are we going to get together? How can we do this same thing, but it be a more intimate situation where the husband and the wife are there, right? And in whatever that looks like, our situation might be a little bit different. I run the inside, David runs the outside and the sales. And, we're in very parallel roles. Some places it's a technician that got out the truck that's now the business owner, but his wife is doing the accounting at home, right? And
Doing the books.
right.
Yeah.
But at some point, the babies grow up and you come into the office, and then now, and I'm sorry, I just can't stand when a couple comes and sits in our office and says it was his dream, or I'm working in his business. And I'm like, well,
Hmm.
who's raising his kids while he's running his business, and I think when there becomes a better respect for what the other is doing, and realizing that neither can do the job by themselves, no matter what it is, that's where you're able to take your business to the next level. So
Hmm.
what if you, as the wife who's doing the books at home, appreciates more what he's doing outside every day, running a business, and then you're able to support in a different way? Well, what if he takes the business to the next level because of that? Right. So I think so many times maybe we miss out on that. And if you're around women who say, it's okay if you support him, like that's cool. Or if he says, man, it's okay if I put my wife out there to be the face of the business because I'm going to go fix air conditioners. Who cares? We all make money and everybody's happy and we grow, and whatever that looks like. So, again, I think it's just wanting people to have the experience that we've had, and that it's been a good thing. It's hard, but it's been a great
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Separation is a little tough. Lanes is important. And I'll say this, and for anybody listening who's like, no, I run the business. My wife doesn't have anything to do with it. Wrong. She
Yeah,
does. She has a whole lot to do with it. And even if she's not in the day-to-day operation of the business, she's involved.
yeah,
And we can say he too, but traditionally it's going to be him in the business and the wife not.
yeah.
I would say this would be an amazing conference still to get your spouse, even if they're not in the day-to-day, and come to the event and be around other couples because they're in the business. And the problem is a lot of times in that scenario, in that situation, all the spouse gets is the bad,
Right,
right? They
right,
come home and they're like, offload. And then you're
right.
like, oh crap. So
Exactly.
this
And
would be
I
a good
think,
opportunity to find out the other people in the industry and who are in the industry. And there are couples that do it and it does work and it's not, so
yeah,
I would recommend anybody listening, even if your spouse is not involved in the day to day, this is still an amazing conference to come and be a part
I
of.
I agree. And I think there's so many things where, like I said, the businesses change over time. And so
Hmm.
maybe you have little ones, but then maybe they go to school, or maybe you have your kids have been home and now they're going to college. And so what does the next step look like? What maybe you're in the business for a little while and you want to go off and run your own business. Like there's just so much, I think, that like you said, you don't have to be in the day to day to come and get an understanding, maybe get an appreciation, maybe see where your next step might be to become
Hmm.
part of the business. I think there's so much there. And, maybe somebody's doing marketing and they're doing it for another company right now. And you come here and you're like, oh, Crystal Williams is the, guru of branding and marketing and all the cool stuff she knows how to do, and she was working in her family's business and she started a marketing company. Like, maybe you do that, or maybe you step into doing the marketing for your own company. There's just so much possibility. And I think the people that I know are already coming, and the people that we have asked to be presenters at this are so willing to pour back into the industry and pour back into anybody who asks for help. you're going to walk away with so much that I know every minute's going to be worth it.
I don't know anybody successful, not just in our business, but any business that didn't have somebody help them along the way. Nothing
Absolutely.
we do is a learned behavior, right? Like I mean, it is a learned behavior. Nothing's just you're born with it and you're like, well, I can run a business. I was
Right.
talking to somebody the other day about, I don't, it was like something like KPIs, right? And for a lot of us, second nature, of course we know what that is, but I mean, there was a time when I didn't know what that meant. And part of the
Right.
problem was you hear it and you don't even know who to ask what that means or so.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Well, you
Pretty good
just
stuff.
assume that everybody knows everything. When they start talking about that stuff, you're like, oh, yeah, I know my KPIs. And then you're like, what are KPIs?
Yeah.
What's ours?
Right.
So I think you'll have people in the room that are in that same situation. And geez, if you only walked away getting that one answer, like, I mean, that's big. That could be a game changer for your next year. So it's a great time of year too. Like we should be in the slowdown, maybe not all the way slowed down, but November is typically a slower month. You still have, I think, 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, so we're not in the rush yet. And, just a little bit about how I thought about the conference to make it easy for couples to come. Because if you are both in the business, it's difficult for both of you to be away from your business for too long. And what I believe is that most people that are coming to this conference are probably going to be around the 2 million and up area. Not that you can't if you're less, but still you're at that position where you're wearing hats that if you're gone, it'll be hard. So that's why we planned it for welcome on Sunday night. And sometimes I think in these conferences, like welcome night seems optional. I would not miss this welcome party because it's going to be Southern Charm Low Country Boil Sunday night. So you're not going
I
to want to
cannot wait.
Right. It's going to be so good on the beach or close to the beach, depending on the weather. And then a conference all day Monday, and a speakeasy bourbon party on Monday night. And we got lots of fun things because we're not going to tell you where the party is going to be. You're going to be figuring that out with clues throughout the conference as to where the speakeasy is and where the party is on Monday night. And then we are going to have a half a day on Tuesday. So if you're flying into Charleston, very easy to fly in Sunday morning, midday, and then fly out Tuesday afternoon. And so you've really only missed a couple days out of your business. You can get back and get ready and finish the week out strong. So
What? Okay, so not only the week, but the year, right? Like we're right around the corner. Like this is a
right.
good opportunity for business owners to take some strategic time,
Yep.
build what a plan is going to look like for them so that they're ready
Absolutely.
to, you know, crush 2025 and light 26 on fire with a good plan.
Absolutely. And I think that's a big thing too, is that so many people don't don't purposely plan for their next year, right? Like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got my budget. I know what my revenue number is for next year, right? That's not a
Mm-hmm.
plan. That's a wish.
Right.
So what's the plan that comes from that? And I think again, all you may just hear like, well, how do y'all put your plan together? How do y'all put your plan together? Right. And you still have about 6 weeks to go home and get that together. Or maybe you even find another couple that's like, hey, why don't we get together the first week of December and do our plan together? I think
That'd be cool.
that connection will be really good. So
So give us a reminder, dates, location, and how to get more information because this thing needs to sell out. It's going to sell out fast. So
yeah, we're
people need to get on
about
it.
a third there. So and we know
Well, and
we
that's
are.
at the time of recording.
It is. That's right. So, but room blocks are about halfway gone. So that's where the big thing is. But we're on the beach at the Wild Dunes Resort. So we are in Charleston, but that's about 20 minutes away from the beach on the Isle of Palms. It's a beautiful setting, great resort. There's obviously close to the beach, but bars and restaurants there at the resort. You really don't even have to leave. We're going to have plenty of parties and all that kind of stuff. So it is Sunday, November 9th through Tuesday, November the 11th. And our welcome party is going to start at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Like I said, you do not want to miss that. So we're going to definitely show our Southern charm, and then a little bit of our Charleston history as we go through with the speakeasy. Now, you will want to get registered at wemeanbusinesschs.com, or you can go Facebook. We're definitely doing lots of shout outs and stuff there. And tickets are $17.99 a couple. We do have a special that we are letting everyone use WMB 150 to save $150 right now. As we get closer to the conference, that may go away, but at the time of this recording, you will definitely be able to use that. And keep on our Facebook, because we gave away Chris Davidson and his wife won free hotel last week. Contest, and we are going to be giving away a couple registrations, so make sure that you're following us there. But we just really think the value, the time, the parties, all that kind of stuff, and fingers crossed, we are hoping to have a very special keynote, two very special keynote speakers. We'll see if we can put this together. We're trying really hard. If not, we have an amazing lineup. So of course, Kristen and Justin Deese will be presenting. Kim and Kenny Byrne of Call the Brands. I'm sure you've seen them out there. They are great with their branding and their operations. I've seen both of them speak before, so super excited about them. Levi and Cassie Torres from High Five Plumbing, Heating and Air in Denver. Culture, branding, growth, man, like killing it. We
Those
actually met
guys are,
them at
yeah.
Kristen's conference, Kristen and your conference. So that was an awesome find. So I'm happy to share them with everyone. Trey and Trey McWilliams, Crystal Williams, their brother-sister presenters, and Alyssa and Joey Rogers from Rogers Heating and Cooling in South Boston, Virginia. They've done an amazing job, of course, of culture. Alyssa's got an awesome podcast, local podcast that she's killed it with. So man, like it's killer. And so we're super excited about all that. So, and then maybe David and Stephanie Postell. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, everybody will be disappointed if you don't.
Right.
So we're going to make sure and put all that information in the show notes. Get tickets and get them fast. They're going to sell out. I know a lot of times people are looking and they're like, oh, it's August. Oh, it's September. I got time. It's going to sell out. So jump on it fast. And the room block, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, only 60 couples. So this is not a huge 1,000 people conference. We're not just trying to fill seats. We want 60 couples who want to be engaged, who want to contribute, who want to come and solve problems or help others solve their problems. So it's going to be a special group. I really feel like people are going to get a whole lot out of it.
It's going to be awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and we'll put all the links to this in the show note. And gosh, we'll see you guys here in just a few. I guess it'll be a
couple months.
Really soon.
Yeah, it's really going to be soon before we know it. But thank you so much for all y'all are doing. We can't wait to hear you and all of that. And we appreciate all the support. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.